From the News Channel 5 Network, this is MorningLine.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us on MorningLine. Nick Barris here on a Tuesday. So, are you worn out from all this weather right now? I'm a little worn out. It was crazy yesterday, and our weather team and news crews out there all day long, starting in the mornings all the way through, did a fantastic job, and we'll continue to do so today. Hopefully things will ease off. There's word that there will be more severe weather today, but mostly south of us. Fingers crossed on that, but we'll continue to monitor it. But we figured let's shift some gears here. We're getting into the springtime. This morning we're not going to stay on the weather as much, though we'll update you if there's any new developments, and right now it's okay out there. We're going to talk this morning about, nutrition, exercise, health, taking care of yourself, especially, as we get to the point of the year now where it starts warming up. You're getting to spring, summer, you're thinking about spending time outside where you're wearing less clothes. A lot of people think, I got to get in shape right now. The truth is, you need to have a lifestyle change to stay in shape year round, but let's face it, right now is when a lot of people turn their focus to that. And we're going to get into that this morning with a health coach. There are health coaches out there. We've had nutritionists. We certainly have doctors on to talk about things. But there are health coaches out there that deal with every facet of what it takes to do that and take care of yourself. So we're going to take calls from you as well. But let's introduce her to you this morning. It's Diane Damron. Good morning, Diane.
Good morning.
Nice to have you on.
Thank
It's
you.
a pleasure.
Good to be here.
You're a health coach.
I am.
All right. What exactly, I guess, is it what it sounds like? What is a health coach?
Well, I coach families, individuals, even corporations.
Now, is this different than a physical trainer, personal trainer, or is it kind of the same thing?
It's the same thing, but I do both approaches where I do both fitness and nutrition.
Okay.
So I coach people on healthier living. It's not about being skinny. I am a health and weight loss coach. I do help people lose weight as well. Coming off of diabetes medication, blood pressure medication, cholesterol meds, things like that. Just living a healthier lifestyle, through both fitness and nutrition.
I think everyone, I don't think anyone out there could not benefit from that. Even folks that I consider myself to be, a pretty healthy individual, but having a coach or someone there to walk you through it, is that what some people just need?
Yes, a lot of people need the education and encouragement from a coach in order to kind of kickstart and kind of keep that going. I was an athlete as a child, so I know being able to kind of have that teammate, that support system, the coach, helping you along as well. So yeah.
It's funny, and this maybe is getting more specific until we get into it, and we're going to show some before and after pictures of you. I always like stuff like that, but the diet part of it's interesting. A lot of people suffer from high cholesterol, all right? They deal with statin drugs. I do, to some degree. I'm sorry, I've had it with pills, okay? I don't want to take any medicines. I know a lot of people have no choice but to take some of them, but the side effects, I adjust, and this is not with my doctor's permission, because it's my call, not his. I'm off my statins. Now, I don't have super high cholesterol. I have no other risk factors for heart disease. Zero. I don't smoke, I exercise, I take care of myself, I eat well, but I do have an elevated cholesterol, but I do not want to take statins the rest of my life. And when I come off statins, my cholesterol is going to elevate. It will be above what they recommend, and I don't care. What do you think of that approach? And I know you're not a medical doctor.
Right. If some people definitely need to be on it for hereditary reasons. Cholesterol's just
especially after
high.
a heart attack. Sometimes they prescribe it. Now I have it. It's hereditary. It's not diet. Now I like my share of meat, and I probably I don't overeat fatty foods. But either way, my genetics do not allow me to get rid of cholesterol the way it should. So I will always, for the rest of my life, have higher cholesterol.
Yeah, but there are always ways, because the costs, the medical costs, as well as the side effects of taking so many drugs sometimes can...
I don't want to take statins.
Right, and that, I think, if you can get your cholesterol, your blood pressure, whatever it is, down through both fitness and nutrition, I think that's definitely the way to go. Once you learn the lifestyle, and I've certainly helped a lot of men get into that where their doctor says you're low enough, you can come off, and you don't need it. And again, so many times people think that it's not affordable to be healthy, to eat healthy.
Right.
To
you always think, some of these fruits, and the most expensive things sometimes in the grocery store, well, obviously meats, and then the produce sometimes, especially organic stuff.
But some of my favorite foods, the go-tos that I always eat are some of the cheapest that you can find in the grocery store. For protein, I eat a lot of eggs, I eat a lot of peanut butter, I eat a lot of bananas, canned, packaged tuna, salmon, you can get those super cheap. And some of those, calorie for calorie, you're going to get a lot more bang for your buck eating those healthier foods. And I'm big on protein. We'll kind of get into some of that, the protein carbs mix and all that later. But for sure, it's not a cost effective. It is cost effective to be healthy.
Eat healthy. You can do it. What did you have for breakfast this morning?
I had
what
oatmeal.
do you typically eat?
I have oatmeal made with skim milk, and then I put in a little bit of dried fruit to kind of get some sweetness. And I usually add in maybe some whey protein or maybe some maple syrup. For
sweeteners, what do you think of like stevia?
I'm not a huge fan of sugar substitutes. I try not to add a lot of sweeteners. If I add sweeteners, I try to go the natural way, whether that's maple syrup, honey. I do like, some people are very much against agave, but I do think it's a good product in that, first of all, it's sweeter than sugar, so you can actually use less. So if you were to use a teaspoon of agave, it's actually, you get a little more sweetness than if you were to use a teaspoon of sugar. Plus, it's not refined. The other bonus of agave is that if you're diabetic, it does not have that blood sugar, it doesn't spike your blood sugar like sugar does.
I've got you. Okay, and I'm with you to stay away from stuff that is super refined. And I'm just focusing right now some on the dietary things, but we'll get into more. And the number 7377587, because as you say, it's not just diet, it's also the exercise and the health part, and you even have ways to get children to eat healthier as well. Now, give us a little more about your background then. You're not a medical doctor, but you do this for a living, I guess, as a health coach.
Correct. Actually, I am by trade. My background is engineering. I went to school. Let's start back. I grew up a little overweight and very self-conscious about my weight. And luckily, I was very active. I played multiple sports. Actually went to college to play softball. There's my pictures of me as
I was going to say, she already threw them up there.
Yeah.
All right, so we look at you. Those are all three. Wow. Big difference. Now is that all within a same time period back in college?
The one on the far left is probably maybe sophomore in high school, and then the other two are my senior year of high school.
Okay, now I'll look at especially the one in the middle and stuff. I mean, to me, you don't look overweight. You look healthy. I mean, you look healthy in that picture.
And like I said, luckily I was very active, so I was very athletic. But anyway, so I went to college to study engineering and to play softball, and I ended up quitting softball. And after that first year, I just felt I needed to do something because I wasn't playing softball anymore, and I did some research on healthier living. I'd tried failed diets, I'd tried, all kinds of counting things and taking, it just didn't work, and they failed because when you diet, you aren't addressing the behavior that got you to the place that you were in.
Right.
So I just decided to make a complete lifestyle change and lost about 50 pounds, and it didn't happen overnight. It
takes
took
time,
a couple
right?
of years.
Yeah.
So I graduated college, went to work in engineering, worked in engineering for about 10 years. However, during that 10-year time frame, I was a health coach on the side. Everybody asked me, how did you do it? What did you do? And it was something I started cooking for some of my friends, taking healthier foods to the office. I even did like the Biggest Loser program at my office. And then in 2010, it just sort of hit me. The corporate lifestyle kind of took a toll on me, and several of my friends, and I call them clients, but they weren't paying me because I was just doing it for fun at the time, said that I should do this full time. So since 2010, I've been doing this full time.
That's interesting. So you literally walked away from what I'd assume would be a relatively lucrative engineering job that you were a success at, and that you weren't fired.
No.
And you just decided, through this side thing that you were doing, that's something that you would rather do and you enjoy more.
Yeah, it was.
That's awesome.
It was my passion.
That's
something
gutsy.
that I really wanted. Yeah.
That was a gutsy move. I mean,
it was. I'll be honest, it was scary.
Yeah, to kind of say I'm going to go for that and do that. So do you do it through clubs, or health clubs, or where do you?
I do not. I do not work out of a gym or anything.
Okay.
Everything is basically by word of mouth. So I work. I did a little bit of advertising on the front end that first year that I started, but now pretty much everything. And with social media and things, you're able to keep up with people. So
okay, yeah, that's the way you can get the word out. Well, what we'll do is we'll take a break here in a moment, and then we'll get into more details, and then we'll take some phone calls as well. If you just have, obviously she can handle real general stuff, but before we go to the break, give people an idea. First of all, they're going to be able to call and get information from you today, which is great because you can call the show and get that information free. But if you want to think about hiring a health coach, and I guess it depends on how much time they plan to spend with you. I mean, maybe you can meet with a health coach once every week, once every 2 weeks, once every day. What does it typically cost?
For me, I charge, it's an average of about $50 per hour, and I come to you. I like to be in your environment. I come in, sit with you. I look at your kitchen, what you have in your cabinets. We kind of go through that. Don't make you throw anything out, but just give you options of what you can replace. And then we usually go through a workout. And I have not, there's no excuses. I always say there's always something you can do. The one word that I don't allow any of my clients to use is can't. There's always something you can do. And we'll hopefully go through some exercises that I have that anybody can do. No special equipment. I have not personally worked out in a gym in about 5 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you involve lifting weights, or you have resistance training with rubber bands?
Resistance training with just about anything you can find.
Yeah.
Most of it's your own body weight, which is, it's the perfect
exercises
thing to use.
You can do.
That's right.
All right, and when you think about $50 an hour, but that's something where you're not talking about 10 hours in a day or something. You go for an hour with you, and then maybe do that 1 week, and then you get back whenever you think you need an updating or something like that. And maybe you do a few at the outset, and then you can go off on your own and just do your thing.
Yeah, and a lot of that's kind of the goal. My goal is not to meet with my clients on forever. The goal is for them to get a healthy lifestyle at a certain point, and then I let them go.
And then stick with it. Interesting. All right, listen, let's take a break. When we come back, we'll take calls, and there's a broad range of topics we can get into. Everything from the dietary situations that you may have, and I know many of you are on prescriptions for all kinds of things, the foods, and then the exercises, and then really how to start when you're just getting going and maybe you are overweight and you have trouble right now climbing stairs, and we're talking about getting a personal trainer and doing exercises. Come on. We'll get into that. The lines are open, 737-7587. More on personal health training and coaching and how it can help you right after this. Stay with us.